Halloween's coming up, and if you're thinking of being Captain America, then we've got something to show you that will make your shield even more useful than it usually is. Hey guys, I'm here with my friend Calli.
I've helped Nate before in the past with building some giant Koopa shells for the Devon Supertramp videos. If you've seen those, you guys also saw a smaller version of that on this channel.
Fiberglass is something that I really prefer to have an extra set of hands for, and she has hands, so this is gonna work out pretty well. The basic idea is that carrying a shield and a trick-or-treat bag will use up all of your hands. So we found a way to combine the two, letting you open the front of your shield to collect your goodies. So to start off, we've got a little plastic Captain America shield that we bought from Amazon.
It has some elastic straps here and there. They're okay.
But we've got some modifications to do, and the first step is going to be a little bit of reinforcement, and that's what we've got our fiberglass for.
And here we've got our fiberglass resin and our fiberglass cloth.
So we're going to be using these two things and making a reinforced section in a circle around here.
So the first thing we're going to do is take off these elastic straps, but we're going to save them for later.
Now we need to do fiberglass, and fiberglass is a terrible thing to do indoors. It smells really strong, has powerful fumes you really don't want to be breathing in. So we're gonna go outside for this part. So now we've got our shield and we're here outside where there's enough ventilation that we're not gonna get overwhelmed with fiberglass fumes. And we've just got it set up on this plastic container to hold it up.
To make sure that the fiberglass bonds really well, we're gonna go ahead and sand some parts down here so it has something to grip and doesn't peel up later. So while I handle the sanding here, Nate's gonna cut up that fiberglass mat.
Okay, here's our fiberglass resin. We're gonna be pouring it into this bowl. Here's a tip, if you ever have a can or a bottle, something like this, where the spout is on one side, don't pour it that direction because it'll usually block off the air and it'll do that like blub blub thing. If you pour it from the other direction, you usually get a much smoother pour. Look at that smooth pour. Beautiful. So we start off by brushing on a thin layer of fiberglass resin. We then take our fiberglass cloth, we press it down onto that, and then we add more of the resin on top of it.
So this ridge that Nate's pointing to right here, this is what we want to go ahead and reinforce because we're going to be cutting into that in just a little bit. This is going to take a little bit of time to cure.
Actual cure time depends on how much catalyst we added and the temperature outside, so we'll just come check on it about every 20 minutes and see how it's doing. In the meantime, we've got stuff to build back inside where it's not quite so cold. Now, while the fiberglass is curing, as I said, we're going to start building the internal and moving parts of this. So we have here a caulking gun and a piece of wood. From this, we need to cut two pieces that are approximately the length of the second circle on the inside of our shield. So we're gonna have Calli measure and cut those while I start modifying our caulking gun.
The last thing you want is resin in your hair. Pretty much most of these supplies you don't want in your hair. Right now we're just measuring the piece of wood to fit the inside of this inner second circle.
Now we're gonna have this piece of aluminum working as a sort of hinge that swivels and pushes out the front part of our shield. So Calli's gonna shape this. We've got a curved end on one side, a couple of spots to drill, and we'll cut it off. And that will be part of our opening mechanism.
Easy enough. And then we need our grip, which will be a little harder to cut. That should work.
Caulking guns are cheap and they have a pre-built handle with a hinge with a spring in it, which is just what we're looking for right now. So we're gonna take this caulking gun and we're gonna start kind of cutting it to pieces. We just want the handle part. All right, now we've got several pieces cut out so we can begin to show you how this mechanism is going to be working. Our handle is going to get mounted and we're going to bend this metal strap into place. So that will be attached onto these bars. Then we'll have a piece of metal that goes from the black handle around, and that will go over to this piece, which will be mounted on a hinge. So when we pull this handle, that will push on the back, causing this to swing out. And that's what's going to push open our shield. So now we need to mount this handle onto these two pieces of wood. Like I said, we've got this metal strap and this is what we're going to be using. So let's start bending this and then cutting it into the right shape. We want to lift it up so that we have space to fit our hand underneath the handle so we can close it as we like. Calli just finished sanding this off, so I'm less likely to tear my hand open while handling it. I took this metal strap and I bent it in a few places. That should allow us to mount it both to the wooden sticks and to our caulking gun handle. So this will fit right here on the bottom. So I bent it to my hand, but I was also trying to keep in mind the placement of the holes so I can use those to mount them onto both the wooden sticks and the handle here. I'm just trying to line up the holes in our metal bracket with where we want to make holes in our handle.
So you can see here on the handle, if we had left it open when I was drilling, we would have actually gotten this black part drilled too, and we did not want that. So we closed it for that part, goes all the way through, and then the bottom part didn't really matter, so we kept that open.
Now we need similarly drilled holes into the two sticks, and that's how we're going to mount the bracket to that. Now our handle is mounted to two sticks, which is everything I've ever wanted in the world. I think at this point the fiberglass on our shield is probably cured, so we can start lining things up and getting ready to do more assembly on the shield itself.
Our fiberglass is pretty much cured, so slightly more like vibranium, just if vibranium was slightly harder plastic. Yeah.
So now we've got our whole handle assembly on our shield and we can see even better how things are going to work. This piece of aluminum will go right here. We'll have this piece of bolt acting as a sort of hinge. And then when a piece of metal extending from the handle over to this hole pushes on it, it will spin and that will push out the front portion of our shield. However, before we do that, we need to make it so the two pieces are separate. Right now we have the whole shield as one piece and we need to pull them apart. So what we're going to do is drill a couple of holes into the front, just big enough that we can fit a jigsaw blade in, and we're going to jigsaw all the way around, cutting out this blue circle with the star in it. We've now got the two pieces separated, and while Calli sands those down so they aren't super scratchy everywhere, I'm going to be doing some measurements and attaching some more hardware onto our hand mechanism. Calli has become the Captain America shield. Well, at this point, the wrong thing is moving, of course, but conceptually, I think we've got something good going on. Pulling on that handle is going to push it, and it's going to force it open. We've separated the two pieces of our shield and now we need to put them back together, just not quite the same way. What we want to do is have this piece on a hinge so it opens up. Earlier we took off these elastic straps that were the original handles on this shield, but they weren't quite the right style of what we were going for, of course. So now we're going to use those pieces of elastic to work as a closing mechanism for our shield. We'll glue those on fairly tight, not necessarily pulled tight, but just nice and flat so that any opening causes the elastic to stretch, so they should spring back nicely.
So now that we've got most everything in place, we want to make sure it's pretty secure and pretty permanent. So we're going to be fiberglassing our wood pieces, just making sure that nothing goes anywhere. Oh no, I have resin on me.
Your life is over.
I'll be prepared to have it on me forever.
All right, I think we've now had our fiberglass cure pretty nicely, so these are gonna hold on. So I'm no longer worried about the shield breaking apart while it's being carried around. So there's just a few last touches. I've actually gone ahead while that was curing, I did a little bit of it. So this is just a pouch that I threw together with some scrap pieces of cloth and you can see it's got Velcro dots all over it. And the purpose of this is we can just attach it like that, and like that. So now, when the front of the shield is open, it just leads right down into that bag. So the whole point of this is like a trick-or-treating shield. You open it up like that, you drop candy down in, and it'll just land right in your trick-or-treat bag. And if that gets too full, you can just peel it off and make your dad carry all of your candy in a larger bag while you just keep carrying around the shield. One more thing we want to do, and that is to add an arm strap. So we're going to use a staple gun to hold this down. We're going to use several staples, just attaching our leather onto our piece of wood. This is a really simple plastic buckle from the craft store. On one side, it's permanently attached. On the other side, it goes through the loop so you can tighten it, but it doesn't really pull back. Are you going to attack me while I'm using this as a shield?
Yes. Wait, no. Yeah, where's the candy? I'm going to chuck candy at you. Okay, wait, ready? Did you catch any of those?
No, it's vibranium. Things bounce off of it. Or nothing bounces off of it.
Almost. Okay, try again. Yeah! Woo! This is really fun.
Trick or treat.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah. Guys, thanks for watching. That's not all. We've always got more for you to see. That box up at the top will take you directly to our last video. You should go check that out. The other box will show you what YouTube thinks you should be watching next. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, hit this bomb to get in the club, and that way you'll never miss out on the fun. Don't forget to ring that bell, and we will see you in the next one. Talk to you then.